Namaskaram everybody, Shri Matre Maha. Bijapuragadekshakarmakurajapshakrabjapashotpala Vryagrasvakushanratnakalashaif prodhyatkaram bhoruvaha Dheyo vallabhaya sapadmakaraya ashlishtojvaladbhushaya Vishwotpatti vipatti samsatikaro vignesha ishtardadha श्रीनाथादिगुरुत्रयं गणपतिं पीठत्रयं भैरवं सिद्धौघं वटुकत्रयं पदयुगं धूतीक्रमं मण्डलं वीरान्ध्यष्टचतुष्कषष्टिनवकं वीरावळी पञ्चकं श्रीमन्मालिनीमन्त्रराजसहितं वन्दे गुरोर्मण्डलम् माधर्मे मधुखैटभग्निमहिषः प्राणापहारोऽध्यमे हेला निर्मितधूम्रलोचनवधे हे चण्डमुण्डार्धिनी निःशेषीकृतरक्तबीजदनुजे नित्ये निशुम्भापहे शुम्भध्वंसनि संहरा सुदुरितं दुर्गे नमस्तेऽम्बिके दुर्गे नमस्तेऽम्बिके दुर्गे नमस्तेऽम्बिके सिन्धूरारुणविग्रहां त्रिनयनां माणिक्यमौलिस्फुरत् तारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीम् आपीनवक्षोरुहां पानिभ्याम् अळिपूर्णरत्नशशकं रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकां ध्यायेत् Paramambikam. Welcome all of you for another session on the insights of Lalita Sahasranama. Today, the title in itself is very interesting. Bindu Tarpana Santhusta. So there are three words are there in this: Bindu, Tarpanam, and Santhusta. So let me start with there actually. Like, what is this Tarpanam? The act of Tarpanam. Tarpanam, in the most common sense, we know that all of you would be very familiar with something called as the Pitru Tarpanam actually. And then we have something called as the Devata Tarpanam. Devata Tarpanams are performed by those who have mantra adhikaram basically. The one who has mantra adhikaram are the ones who can perform the Devata Tarpanam actually. Pitru Tarpanam, why we are performing? Because we are all connected with the family lineage actually. So we are all in turn, we are eligible. When the time comes, we perform for the others, and when our time goes up, somebody else have to perform for us. Maybe they will perform or don't know. They are going to do it or not, we don't know. But with the hope that it is going to continue with the lineage and the traditions, it has been followed. But beyond the Pitru Tarpanam, there is also called as the Devata Tarpanam. And in Sri Vidya, and particularly in the Tantra Shastras, this Devata Tarpanam is considered to be very important because it is establishing a direct relationship with the Aradhya Murti actually. In other terms, you are pleasing the Devata by performing the act of Tarpanam, because the very definition of Tarpanam means to please actually. Tarpa iti tarpanaha. That is what it is mean. Tarpanam in itself, Tarpanam means to offer, and what we are offering that to please the deity actually. The act of pleasing. And here, interestingly, in Lalita Sahasranama, we have this Namavali which is talking about the Bindu Tarpana Santushta. And this explicitly means that we are performing Tarpanam in the Bindu. Therefore, there is Santushtaha. Santushtaha means Tripti. Devi is becoming in turn satisfied by the act of Tarpanam. Ritually, yes, it means an act where we are performing an act of Tarpanam in terms of offering milk or Sugandha Jalam, in water infused with various perfumes, and the act through the mantra, we offer the Pujayami, Tarpayami, Namaha, we perform the Tarpanam. But is it just all about Bindu Tarpana Santushta? Means is it just about the ritual that we perform, or it is beyond that? Is what I'm trying to explore in today's class. And also, in today's time, we see that there is a lot of talk about the Bindu actually. Yes, there's a deep exploration or a profound understanding or a profound fascination that is related to Bindu actually. And yesterday in the class, we spoke about how we are going to break through the Trikonas and enter the Bindu where Devi is there. Of course, none of us wanted to be in the 8 avarnas. We wanted to directly jump to the Bindu, but that is not possible. We have to go through the various gates. And that's the reason we are somewhat the other way. We are stuck in our own gates and we are looking forward to go to the better gate. But what happens with most of us is that in terms of when we are searching for the other gate to come in, we get so overwhelmed, we get so afraid, we lose our faith that we want to go back to the previous gate where we were already there. And that's the reason this is called as spiritually, we downfall from where we are actually. So it is always better that we hold on to our faith, we hold on to Devi, and we hold on to the Shastra Jnanam. And if we are blessed and we have a teacher, we have faith on our teacher, and we move forward, not just in the gate where we are, but to the next gate actually. Wherever we are all in some gates actually, either in the first avarna or the second avarna or the third avarna, or maybe the fourth, wherever we are all in the gates, and we should look forward to move towards the next gates actually, rather than being stagnated or rather than wanted to go back to the gate because we don't feel comfortable where we are actually. So, Bindu Tarpana Santhusta. I will start from Namavali, precisely from 386 actually, because I will be giving the pramanam from the Lalita Sahasranamam, because we are directly talking from Lalita Sahasranamam. So you can keep referring to the namas, and from there we are traveling to the different names. And interestingly, you can also, somebody should ask this question to me. Yesterday, we just started with Shri Matre Namaha, and all of a sudden, why are we jumping to Bindu Tarpana Santushta, which is almost in the last fag end of the Lalita Sahasranamam? Correct or not? Yes or no? What is the middle path? The middle path is our sadhana, actually. So I started with the beginning and I'm going to the end, and whatever is there in the middle, let's cover up actually gradually. So and when we understand the beginning, we always wanted to jump to the end, yes or no, because we don't have the patience to go to the end. So I thought, let me introduce the end to you so that we are ready to travel the middle path actually. Anyway, jokes apart, but the reason why we are talking about Bindu Tarpana Santushta is that because we all wanted to reach that apex. And what is that apex all about? And what is the Shastra Pramanam, that to specifically from Lalita Sahasranamam? What is the insights that we are getting? That is what we are trying to understand. So the first nama starts with the name Shadanga Devata Yukta. Namavali 386. Shadanga Devata Yukta. As I told you, who can perform the Tarpanam? The one who has mantra adhikaram is the one who can perform the tarpanam, devata tarpanam actually. So when somebody is having mantra adhikaram, he or she will automatically have what is called as the 6 angas of the mantra actually. Shadanga avatara of a mantra actually. There is a Shadanga Tattva of a mantra actually. It is not simply the mantra, but the mantra has 6 elements to it actually. And these 6 elements are called as the 6 Anga Devatas of Parashakti actually. The 6 Anga Devatas of Parashakti. And this Anga Devatas, the Shadanga Devatas, are what they are actually. They are the heart, they are the head, they are the topmost part of the cranium, and they are the eyes, and they are the weapons. And if you know, if you somebody know, this is technically called as the nyasam. Hridayaya namaha, shirase swaha, shikaya vashat, kavachaya hum, netratraya vaushat, astraya phat. So this is the foundation for the mantra actually. And what is happening? The Shad Anga Devata, the 6 Devatas, we are invoking in our own body. In the various parts, we are invoking them actually. And this, as I told you, is technically the procedure is called as nyasam in Tantra Shastras actually. And why do we do this actually? Because we are identifying with the deity whom we are worshipping or whom we are intending to do the sadhana or whom we are trying to please, upasana, whom we are trying to please actually. And there is this procedure is very complementary actually. If you see, there is when we have the starting procedure of invoking these deities, and there is a complementary way of releasing the energy also. Like we have dik vimokam also. Dik vimokam means to release their energies actually. So when we sit and do, because there are some of you, the moment when we give mantra diksha, the first question will come, can I do the mantra japam wherever possible actually? The thing is that wherever possible you can do, there is no doubt about it. But the Shadanga devatas have to be established in your body so that the mantra should work, so that you become a mantra adhikari actually. So for that, you have to sit in a place for the Shadanga devatas to be placed in your body actually. Are able to follow what I'm trying to say? That's the reason we always ask our Vidyarthis to sit and spend time on mantra japam, even if it is for 10-15 minutes, rather than going on doing the mantra japam randomly, which is good in a way, but doing with the nyasams is always very effective actually. Okay, so coming back, so Devi, who is in the Bindu, is approached by the one who is having the mantra adhikaratvam actually, Shadanga Devata Yukta, because she is always with the 6 devatas. She is always with her Parivara Devatas, and those Parivara Devatas are established and invoked in our own body actually. And from there, what is happening? Shadgunya Paripujita. Shadgunya Paripujita. So what is happening? Shadgunya or Shadgunya? Shadgunya Paripujita. What is happening is that she is giving 6 qualities for the one who is doing the mantra japam, or the one who is becoming the adhikari. What are the 6 qualities? The Shadgunam that she is giving: omniscience, bliss, wisdom, absolute freedom, absolute power, and eternality. She is able to award all these things because she is in full control of all these 6 elements actually. She is actually with these 6 qualities, therefore she is awarding these as blessings to the upasaka. Why she is awarding this? Because ultimately the upasaka is actually realizing his or herself to be in mirror relationship with Devi actually. So it is not in default that we are becoming the omnipresent as omniscience or the omnipresent that we spoke about. It means what? We are able to be with Devi whenever, wherever, however we are, whatever the circumstances are, we are always within her aura actually. That is the meaning that comes in actually. And what is that power we are talking, the absolute power we are talking about? The absolute power we are talking about is, in spite of being in this material world, in spite of with all the limitations that we are, but we can never ever be away from her actually, away from her aura or away from her energy or away from her presence actually. And the absolute freedom is what? Irrespective of being bounded by this material world, we still are with that 100% swatantrata, because we have understood, accepted that our relationship is only with Devi, and all these aspects that are around us, which is seemingly to be reality, is actually not real. We are a part of this play as established by Lalitha, which we are very much consciously aware, and we are looking forward to be with her actually. That is the absolute freedom that we are talking about actually. I hope this is making sense to all of you actually. So moving forward, so Shadanga Devata Yukta, Shadgunya Paripujita, she is moving forward in the Bindu. Like, it's becoming a little mature here. The concepts will become little mature. In the Bindu, she is called to be Nitya Klinam actually. Nitya Klinna means what? She's ever moist with what is called as the orgasmic energy, because she is constantly coupling with Parameshwara, through which she is giving birth to the universe actually. She is ever moist. So the Nitya Klinna means technically ever moist actually. She is ever moist, therefore what she is able to do, she is able to do the Srishti Karanam constantly actually. She is able to do the Srishti constantly actually. She is able to observe everything, that is very true. And also she is simultaneously able to reproduce it actually. So she, therefore, because of this unique quality of her, she is Nirupama. The next Namavali, she is Nirupama. How? Because she cannot be compared to anybody in this world, actually. Nobody can do this, actually. In this entire universe, not just the world, but in the entire universe, nobody has those kind of powers or the energy to do this constantly, actually. So, therefore, what it is happening, since she is able to do this, which is incomparable, and therefore she's called as Nirvana Sukadayini, actually. She is Nirvana Sukadayini. Nirvana Sukadayini means what it exactly means is that she's able to give us the bliss of liberation, actually. The bliss of liberation. Now the question will come in, like, she has given birth and I'm a part of this world and I'm suffering. How it can be a bliss of liberation? Kanna, you have been given birth because you have to realize her and go back, actually. That is the ultimate reason that she has given you the birth, because in any other world, it is not possible to realize her, actually. This is the only world and this is the only form in which you can realize her. Therefore, she has given you birth solely to realize her and so that you can go back to her. If you are involved into other XYZ things and you are suffering, means she is not responsible, actually. I don't know why some of you are very shocked, actually, but this is the truth. This is the brutal truth, but this is what we are trying to understand here, actually. So, therefore, coming back, Shadanga devata yukta, Shadgunya paripujita, Nitya klinna, Nirupama, Nirvana sukadhayini, Nitya shora shikarupa. So, what is happening? Therefore, she is able to grant what is called as the bliss of liberation. She's there because of being in that orgasmic state, that we have discovered as Nitya Klinna, that Nitya Klinnatvam is expanding into further 16 tattvas, Sodasha tattvas, actually, in alignment with the lunar cycle, actually. That's the reason she is Nitya Shodashika Varna, actually. She's turning out into 16 faces, actually. 16 kinds of moods, 16 kinds of revelations, 16 aspects of what is called as the cosmic cycle, one small aspect of the cosmic cycle, actually. Therefore, what is happening? Nitya Shodashika Varna, Shrikantharda Sharirini. So, therefore, she's with Parameshwara. She's into that kind of a relationship with Parameshwara. What it is all about? The Ardhanarishwara Tattva is getting established, where she is half of the Shri Kantarda Sharirini. Shrihi Kantarda means she's half Ardhangini of Parameshwara. Shri Kantaha means Parameshwara here, actually. So she is the half aspect of Parameshwara himself, and Parameshwara is no different from her, or she is different from Parameshwara. And therefore, because of all these qualities, she is Prabhavati. She is ever luminous. She is ever luminous. The very form of brilliance that we talk about in any aspect of the world, it is she, that Prabhavati Tattvam. And because she is that luminous, I have already covered the next Nama, Prabharupa. Because of being luminous, she is the embodiment of the brilliance, actually. Because of ever being luminous, she is the embodiment of brilliance. Moving further, and that brilliance is what is found in every jiva, prasiddha, which is celebrated. If we are intelligent, means we are celebrated. Yes or no, actually. What a brainy fellow. Yes or no? So that is the prasidatvam, the prasiddha. And because of this particular aspects of what she is that we have discussed until now, she is actually Parameshwari, because she has kept Parameshwara herself is a part of her, actually. Therefore, she is the supreme undisputed ruler, actually, Parameshwari. And because of being Parameshwari, she is actually at the Bindu. She is the Bija Shakti. She is the Bija Shakti, Bijatmika Shakti. And when we are talking about Bijam, the interesting part is that as a Bijam, it is both unmanifested and also after the sprout will come out, it is the manifested part. So therefore, what it is, she is the primordial cause, Mula Prakriti. So therefore, at the Bindu, she is in that Bija Tattvam actually. Mula Prakriti. And because of being Mula Prakriti, she's Avyakta. That she is so indistinct in nature, actually. She is so indistinct. And even being a seed, she cannot be measured, actually, because the Bindu seems to be very, very small, tiny spot in the entire Sri Chakra. But it is the most distinctive element within the Sri Chakra, actually. It is the most unique element within the Sri Chakra, actually. Therefore, she is being so unique. She is very being distinctive. She is known to be Avyakta. But that being with that quality of being very highly distinctive, she is pervading in all the 36 tattvas. You remember the 36 tattvas which we discussed? The last month in the Sri Vidya fundamental classes, the 36 tattvas, she is represented in all the 36 tattvas in different multiple forms. Vyakta Swarupini. Vyakta Swarupini. From the manifest to the unmanifested form, she is present in all the tattvas. And as we know, according to the Sri Vidya theories, there are 36 tattvas are present actually. And since she is present in these 36 tattvas, what it is further understood is that she is Vyapini. She is ever present in every element, actually. She's all pervading. And Vividakaratvam, Vividakarini means what? She's present in every form, but it's not in the same way, actually. Like just the way we have sambar in one taste, rasam in one taste, poriyal in one taste, kutu in one taste, everything is in a different taste. I used to keep wondering, it is the one masala only we are putting, why everything is becoming different taste actually? It is primarily because of the reason she is Vividakarini. She is present in everything, but she is present in different ways actually. And why she is present in different ways? It is absolutely her Swatantra. Swatantra Sarvatantre. Bore அடிச்சிரும் இல்லையா she will feel bored, right, if she is going to be in everything as the same actually. So Vividakarini, she is present in different elements. Because I was reading this in the morning, I was preparing for the lecture, and when we were cooking actually, I was remembering this is the only one sambar masala is only there at home. This is only used in sambar, this is only used in rasam. But how the taste is becoming different? Oh, because of the reason that she is present both in sambar and rasam, and also it is distinctive yet the same actually. See the understanding that we get actually. Lalitha Sahasranamam in kitchen and cooking actually. And what is happening? Vividakarini, because of being Vividakarini, multiple aspects of the forms she is present, she is both Vidya and Avidya also. That is, because of being present in multiple forms, she is also the knowledge, she is also the ignorance actually. Remember in Chinnamasta, in the Dashamahavidya introduction, we understood that everything is a part of her actually. And that's the way we can start our beginning of our understanding actually. Chinnamasta and Bhairavi, we spoke about these concepts actually. Even all the negative things, this question when comes in, when Devi is present, why all the bad things are happening actually. So I guess for this, we answered that how she's present in both the knowledge and also in the ignorant forms actually. So therefore, Vyapini, Vividakara, Vidya, we say Vidya Swarupini. When we are chanting, we will say Vyakta Swarupini, Vyapini, Vividakara, Vidya Swarupini. But it is actually Vidya Avidya Swarupini. When we actually segregate it actually. It is talking about both Vidya and Avidya. And moving further, since she is becoming all pervasive, because we started with where? Shadanga Devata Yukta, and from there we are we proceeded with Shadgunya Paripujita, Nitya Klina, Nirupama, Nirvana Sukadaini, Nitya Shodashika Rupa, Shrikanta the Sharirini, Prabhavati Prabharupa, Prasiddha Parameshwari, Mula Prakriti Avyakta, Vyakta Vyakta Swarupini, Vyapini, Vividakara, Vidya Vidya Swarupini. Since she is covered with all these aspects, and we have already described in the previous Nama that she is Parameshwari and she is Shrikantar the Sharirini, once again, the Sahasranama is reinforcing with the idea that she is Mahakamesha Nayana Kumuda Klada Kaumudi. That she is the moonlight, that she is ever and ever and ever attractive to Kameshwara, actually. That moonlight, that gladdens, actually, that attractiveness that Parameshwara or Kameshwara have on her for 24/7 is because Nayana Klada Kaumudi, actually, she has that moonlight effect, actually, because moon is considered to be that cooling, actually, that cooling, that beauty, that effulgence, that grace, that bountiness, everything is associated with the quality of moon, and she herself being the moon. That's the reason Parameshwara is having that ever attraction. There is not even a moment that he is not attracted to her, actually. So that ever attraction is making her what? Mahakamesha Nayana. Mahakamesha Nayana Kumuda Klada Kaumukhi. And therefore, because of all these qualities, what is happening? The most important Namavali is coming, students. What it is? Bhakta Harda Tamo Beda Bhanumad Bhanu Santatihi. The moment her children, her devotees, the sadhakas are going to understand these profound concepts, are able to realize that profound concept, what happens? She becomes the one who is the moonlight for Kameshwara. She becomes the sunlight for her devotees. What she is doing, she is dispelling the darkness of ignorance, actually. This is very profound, actually. This comes with greater maturity to understand, because this entire world, it is based on pleasure. It is based on seeking pleasure element, actually. And in the course of seeking the pleasure element, we constantly fall trap for what is called as pain. We constantly fall for the trap of ignorance. We fall constantly into the trap of expectations and lamentations, and it keeps going in different dimensions, actually. But the moment when we understand the true meaning of attraction that Devi has within herself, and very specifically to broaden this understanding that she, in relationship with Sadashiva, what kind of an understanding they have within themselves, and what is that they are trying to do with the universe, and what is that they are trying to do for themselves, and what is the intricate relationship as a sadhaka I have, then this entire knowledge becomes a liberating element for the sadhaka. That's something in the material world, it is lust. It becomes purely transformative love when we understand this, actually. Or when with her grace, when we are able to understand this. So therefore, Bhakta Harda Tamo Bheda Bhanumad Bhanu Santatihi. Bhanu Santatihi. So she becomes that Koti Surya Prakashini. She will bring an end to the ignorance, actually. Ignorance of what? The ignorance of lust. When I'm talking about lust, it is not just about the sexual lust I'm talking about, the physical lust I'm talking about. I'm talking about in a broader understanding. Kamam, actually. Kamam is much more with a broader understanding of what is called as the desire, actually. The desire, the very desire that in spite of undergoing a lot of turmoils, we want to be in this world. That in itself is a kamam, actually, if we have to put it in that sense. Or rather, not looking for liberation, we want to continue our life and existence in this world. That the fear of death, the fear of quitting the physical body and not wanted to go to the next world or next phase of this life. If we are into all these aspects, this in itself is a great kamashtam, actually. So she is bringing vimukti to all these aspects, to the one who is doing sadhana. And therefore, the one who gets qualified to this level, The one who becomes qualified to this level, what she does, the next Namavali we are getting into, she becomes Shiva Duti. She becomes Shiva Duti. What she is doing? Because of the extreme love that her husband is having upon her, that her husband becomes her own messenger, that he comes down to us to bring us back to her, it seems actually. Shiva Duti. Nobody else she will send. She will send her husband directly, actually. Shiva Duti. He becomes the Namavali Shiva Duti. Duti means what? Messenger. Shiva becomes the messenger of Devi herself. And why Shiva is becoming a messenger of her? Because of the Ananya Bhakti, Ananya Prema that Parameshwara has on Parashakti or Lalita Tripura Sundari. She becomes Shiva Radhya, the next Namavali. Shivan performs Aradhana of Devi. Shiva plus Aradhanam, Shiva Radhya. Shiva is performing Aradhana of Devi. This is called as true love, actually, if you have to really understand. This is very difficult to even, just like we cannot even conceptualize the love between Radha and Krishna, this is also the same. But in Tantra Shastra, at least in the Vaishnava traditions, most of them, they say that, we cannot talk about it. We cannot even think about the love between Radha and Krishna because, we are not to those levels. At least Tantra Shastra is giving us the space and the scope to understand the love between Shiva and Shakti, actually, so that we can evolve. As human beings, we can evolve, actually. So coming back, she is Shiva Duti. Shiva Duti, Shiva Radhya, because of the extreme love Parameshwara has on Tripura Sundari, because she is worshipped by Shiva himself. What she is? She is Shiva Murti. She is the form of Shiva herself, actually. So we understand that as Parashakti, Shiva and Shakti are both one and the same into the concept of Parashakti, actually. And Shiva is there in Shakti and Shakti is there in Shiva. This is the way to understand that concept together, the conjugal love which our divine parents, Parvati and Parameshwara, are having. And this is the way to understand this, actually. Shiva Radhya, worshipped by Shiva. Therefore, she becomes Shiva Murti herself. And all these things are happening in Bindu. Let me remind you, actually, why we are performing Tarpanam to the Bindu. So from there, what is happening? Kamakshi. From there, we are going to understand that since she is sending Shiva, this is also one of the Namavali which really touched me. So, since she is Bhaktaharda Tamo Bheda Bhanumad Bhanu Santatihi, she is Shiva Duti, sending Shiva as the messenger himself to us and taking us back to her. Because why she is able to do it? Because she is Shiva Radhyayini, because Shiva himself is worshipping her. And Shiva, because she herself is Shiva, therefore Shiva is worshipping her, worshipping his own self in a different dimension. Therefore, what Devi is able to do, she is able to become or grant what is called as Shivankari. Shivankari means what? She is able to confer the Shiva Tattvam for the Jiva who has approached her, actually. Shiva Tattva. Conferring of the Shiva Tattva. And she's able to do this. Again, Sahasranamavali is reinforcing because she is able to do this because she is Shiva Priya. She is Shiva Priya because she is beloved of Shiva. And the next Namavali is the most twisting Namavali here. She's the one who is having that entire the entire philosophical foundation of the Shakta ideology is lying in this one Namavali. She is Shiva Para. Para means she's even beyond that Shiva, actually. She's even beyond that Shiva, Para. And now, I think all of you who are here, I think Devi has chosen this moment for all of us. She gives all these elements, these tattvartmika lakshanas to all those people whom she has decided to make them wise, it seems, actually. Sishteshta. The moment she decides that the individual should become intelligent to understand her beyond the form of bhayam and bhakti, because most of us, we start with what? We either have fear on her, or we want bhakti because we want things to be done, or we want certain things to be stopped by her actually. But the moment she decides that this jiva should go beyond this and should understand me, who am I, then what she does? She gives the tattvam of shishteshta. What? Sought by the wise. She is sought by the intelligent, and that intelligence is given by her. How fascinating is this? Yes or no? And it is not that she is just giving this, the wiseness to us. She is also giving the all the ways and means to approach her. And that approach is primarily to the pujanam and tarpanam we do, na? Shishta pujita. She will reveal even how we should worship her actually, worshipped by the wise. She will teach how the wise should worship her. In other words, means what? That particular jiva will find a guru and find the ways and means of approaching her in the most systematic manner. And the next Namavali, because she is aprameya. Aprameya means she is somebody who is immeasurable actually. Swaprakasha, self-luminous. And, and she is somebody who is manovachama gochara. She cannot be attained through the mind and speech. And she is the power of consciousness, chit shakti. Chetana Rupa, the form of consciousness. She brings us out of what is called as the Jada Shakti. Jada Shakti is the power of Maya. She's able to bring us from the power of Maya. And Maya is her own understanding in a very different context, actually, which every one of us have been curtailed upon, actually. And because of the Jada Shakti, that the idea of the power of Maya, what is happening? She's the Jadatmika, that she's the objective pursuit in this particular world. We all have objective pursuits actually. And in turn, in a way, we are pursuing her only. But the only thing is that we don't have that consciousness actually. Some of you really smiled and laughed at me when I said that Sambar and Rasam is, she's the form. But actually, that is the truth. If we realize, it would have sounded funny, but that is the truth, right? Yes or no? So she is the objective which is present in everything actually. The only thing is that we are not having that awareness, because as we understood that the Chit Shakti or the Chetana Rupa, that the power of consciousness or the form of consciousness is not ever illuminated in us actually. It's not always what is called as, it is not ever effulgent in us actually. And because of all these aspects, Shishta Puja, because she gives us the element of being Shishta Pujita, we are able to come out of what? The Aprameya Tattva of her, the Swaprakasha Tattva of her, the Manovachama Gochara Tattva of her, the Chitshakti Tattva of her, Chetana Rupa Tattva of her, Jadashakti Tattva of her, Jadatmika Tattva of her. Why? Because the next Namavali, because she is Gayatri. And she being the Gayatri and also being the Vyahriti, Namavali 420, I mean 420, 421 now. So because she is being the Gayatri, Vyahriti, Sandhya, since she is the power beyond all the mantras, because Gayatri is a mantra Raja, which is present as the elemental energy in all the mantras, and that she has decided to award to us, we are able to come out of all these previous namas, the limitations that are present actually. And it is through her grace that we are able to do this mantra japam that we started with the idea of the Shadanga Devata Yukta, that mantra which is in the form of Gayatri now, we are able to chant with her grace during the different Sandhya Kalam, the different junctures where the sun is present, the morning, afternoon, evening, and the night actually, the four junctions precisely. And who is able to chant? Because she has selected us. She has given that intelligence to us, Shishteshta, And she wants us to be Sishta Pujita, and she wants us to recover from after the Sishta Pujita, all the Namavali, she wants us to recover, or she wants us to understand all these aspects of her. And then ultimately Gayatri, Vyahriti, Sandhya, all these are happening in the one who is Dvija Brinda Nishevita, the one who is supposed to be twice born, actually, Dvija. Who is the Dvija? The Dvija is the one who is twice born. He or she is born twice because he or she is qualified for the knowledge of self-enquiry, self-realization. Dvija Brinda Nishevita. And the one who has become Dvija Brinda Nishevita, revered by the twice born, rather she is the one who is worshipped by the twice born, such a sadhaka is made to understand all the tattvas, the 36 tattvas, which are actually the secrets of this material world, which are actually what is called as the blockages in this material world, which is not allowing the sadhaka to enter her lokam. She is able to give a comprehensive understanding of all these tattvas, tattvasana. The next Namavali. Namavali 424 I am in. And because she's Tattva Asana, Tattvam plus Asana, because she is the seat of all the Tattvas, she's able to reveal those Tattvas to the Sadhaka. And the Tat is that as such, the Tvam is the ultimate idea of getting into the entire idea of this entire cosmic manifest, that thou is the creativity of the cosmic functioning. The sadhaka gets back with all these idea that she, that is Tripura Sundari, is I in Marathi, actually, in the most comprehensive manner. I means what? Amma. After all these realization, where it has come in the Bindu, my mother, Amma, I. And she's not just a mother of me, she's a mother for everybody. And this realization is further reinforcing with the next Namavali, where we are able to realize that she is Panchakoshantarastita. Panchakoshantarastita. Because she's residing in all the Panchakoshas. You remember the class on Panchakoshas, all of you? Since she's residing in all the Panchakoshas, and she's also there present even when all these Panchakoshas get dissolved. Therefore, she is the ever-present supreme aspect in the Bindu, because she is the ever-effulgent, graceful Shakti of this world. And moving further, this is further implemented with the idea of the Namavali 432, which talks about Madagurnita Raktakshi. Because now, as the sadhaka has identified her as I, that is the mother of all, he or she is able to get into the personalized features of Devi much more. Where Madagurnita Raktakshi, as a sadhaka, we are able to realize that her eyes are red and it is completely rolled inward due to the extreme bliss that she is always in. Madagurnita Rakta Akshi, the red-eyed Rakta Akshi. Madagurnita, it is always in ecstasy, actually. And moving further, the sadhaka is able to realize that Mada Patala Jangabuhu, that her cheeks are so blushing. She's having blushing cheeks. And how she is smelling? Chandana Drava Digdangi. The very essence, the way she is smelling is full of sandalwood. The one who has reached the Bindu, this is what they will realize. That is what Lalitha Sahasranamam is talking about. She is smelling how? She is smelling like sandalwood. And with the sandalwood, the sadhaka is able to make further distinction that it is not just sandalwood alone, but it is champeya kusuma priya. That there is a profound scent of the champaka flowers also coming in. So it's a combination of chandana and the champaka flowers that she is smeared completely upon herself, actually. Kamakshi. And such a mother who is kushala, who is skillful, komalakara, graceful, Kurukula. Kurukula here refers to the mother deity. Particularly in the southern Karnataka regions, Kurukula is known with the idea of the Varahi Tattva actually. So Kurukula, therefore, skillfully, gracefully worshipped as the mother. Kurukula refers to the family deity also. Kurukula refers to family deity. In other words, Kula Devata, we call Kula Devata, right? So she is in the form of Kula Devata, or she is present in the Kula Devatas whom we worship. Therefore, she is the ruler of Kula, Kuleshwari. She is Kuleshwari. Because she is Kuleshwari, she is Kula Kundalaya. Where she is seated? She is seated at the Mooladhara, the starting of the Kulam, abiding by the Kula. She is in the Mooladhara. And she is worshipped by whom? Kala Marga Tatpara Sevita. Worshipped by the Kalacharis. Though there are various acharams are there present, but here the very specific reference in the Bindu Tarpana Santhusta, it is the Kalachara Tattva Vidhi. And we are very grateful that we belong to the Kalachara tradition. And there, as a sadhaka, we are able to realize that she is Kumara Gananathamba. Kumara and Ganapati. She is the mother of Kumara, Skanda, and Ganapati. Kumara Ganatamba. And how she is? She is Tushtihi. She is full of contentment. Pushtihi. She is giving complete nourishment. She is Matihi. She is with full of intelligence. And she is Dhritihi. She is the fortitude of all the aspects of the being a savior or a protector. So let's revise the Namavali. If you're having the Lalita Sahasranama textbook, Shadanga devata yukta shadgunya paripujita Nitya klinna nirpama nirvana sukadhayini Nitya shodashika rupa shrikantharda sharirini Prabhavati prabha rupa prasiddha parameshwari Mula prakriti avyakta vyakta vyakta swarupini व्यापिनी विविधाकारा विद्या अविद्या स्वरूपिणी महाकामेश नयन कुमुधा क्लाद कौमुदी भक्त हार्दतमो भेद भानुमद भानुसंतति शिवधूति शिवाराध्या शिवमूर्तिर्शिवंकरी शिवप्रिया शिवपरा शिष्टेष्टा शिष्टपूजिता अप्रमेया स्वप्रकाशा मनोवाचामगोचरा चिच्चक्तिश्चेतना रूपा जडशक्तिर्जडात्मिका गायत्री व्याहृतिः संध्या द्विज बृन्दनिषेविता तत्त्वासना तत्त्वमयी पंचकोशान्तरस्थिता निस्सीम महिमा नित्य यौवना मरशालिनी चंदनद्रव दिग्धांगी चांपेय कुसुम प्रिया कुशला कोमलाकार कुरुकुल्ला कुलेश्वरी कुलकुंडालया कौल मार्ग तर्पण सेविता कुमारगणता कुमारगणनातांभा तुष्टिः पुष्टिः मतिर्धृतिः. Here, the other Namavali I just missed the Namavali 429, I guess. Nishima Mahima. Nisima Mahima, like because she is in the Panchakosha and Tarastita, it is continued from there. Nisima Mahima, since she is present in the Panchakoshas and she is also beyond the Panchakoshas, even when they are even when they're in dissolution, she is present. She is gloriously, therefore, she is unlimited. She is not just confined with the Panchakoshas, but she is even beyond the concept of the Panchakoshas. Why? Because Panchakosha tattvas are present in those people who have what is called as a lifespan, actually. She doesn't have a lifespan, basically. You understand what I'm trying to say? Therefore, she is Nitya Yauvana Shalini. Nitya Yauvana means she is ever youthful, sweet 16. Not even going inch here and there, actually. Always, ever and ever sweet 16. If she wants, she will become 9-year-old or 8-year-old according to her convenience, which is Bala Tripura Sundari. But beyond 16, she will never travel. So Nitya Yavana Shalini, ever youthful, and how she is Mata Shalini, so radiant. So radiant. Can't describe her beauty. So, Tushti, Pushti, Matir, Ditihi, once the sadhaka has attained all these aspects of contentment, nourishment, intelligence, and fortitude from her, he or she is able to understand that the Devi who's present in the Bindu is Namavali 447 I am in now, that she is Shantihi, tranquility. And she is Swastimati, the eternal truth present. She is the Kantihi, she is the effulgence. And she is Nandini, she is the ever delightful one. And therefore, she is Vignanashini, that she has destroyed all the obstacles for the sadhaka who has attained to that level to perceive her with all these qualities of her, actually. And she is Tejovati. She's highly splendorous, actually. And how she is? Trinayana. She has 3 eyes. And how is her eyes? Lolakshi Kamarupini. Always rotating her eyes, it seems like. Yes, correct. Gayatri. Rotating her eyes. Even when you go to Kanchipuram, if you have darshan, if you're blessed, if you go in Kanchipuram Kamakshi temple, they do the special harati to show when they take the Deeparadhana next to Devi's, face, you can see her eyes becoming like this, it keeps moving from one direction to the right, to the left, left to the right, it will move actually. We can literally, tangibly, we can see this in Kanchipuram. So, Lolakshi Kamarupini. The Namam is Satyam in Kanchipuram. Lolakshi Kamarupini. Malini. Malini means the one who is very beautiful. She is very beautiful. And that beautiness is perceived through the mantra, Hamsa mantra. The Hamsa mantra is what? The Guru mantra. Hamsa Hamsaya Vitmahe Paramahamsaya Dhimahi. Tanno Hamsah Prachodayat. Why? Because the sadhaka could reach all those levels, or he or she could travel to that level to witness all these things, to perceive all these things, because the Guru has handholded and took from one gate to the other and took until the Bindu. Because of the Hamsa mantra, the realization has come in that I am able to perceive all these things. I'm able to absorb all these aspects of Devi. And that because of that Hamsa mantra, again, the sadhaka is coming to the idea that she is Mata. And this Mata here reference to not the mother, that the idea of measure that we spoke in the first Nama, Ma, to measure, that he or she is able to realize that she is so highly immeasurable That's something I have always realized, that idallam enakku puriyuma, idallam enakku theriyuma, idallam ennala therinjikka mudiyuma. I always thought like this, is this all possible for me? Can I perceive her? Can I become qualified for her? I was always measuring myself like this because she is immeasurable. That's something immeasurable that couldn't be measured by me. Now I'm able, everything has become one. The measured and the immeasurable, everything became one and the same. Mata. Got it? And where is she residing? It seems that she is residing in the Malayachala Nivasini, residing in the Malaya Pradesham. And this Malaya Pradesham is what? It is technically the idea of the Sahasrahara, because the Bindu is equivalent to the Sahasrahara Tattva. This Malayachala Pradesham is nothing but the one, she is present in the Bindu. And that Bindu Tattvam is actually referred to the Malayachala Pradesham. And how she is present? Sumukhi, lovely face. Sumukhi. And how is her body? Nalini. Body is full of soft, like a lotus petals, actually, because I was reading all these aspects. Then I remembered our Ashtotra Satanama Archana, which we performed Varahi Navratri, and I was just looking into the video and I just shared it in our Facebook, actually. So that's the reason it came up, actually, So she's just like that lotus, the lotus, the body, the softness of the lotus, actually. Next time when you touch the lotus, if you get a lotus, you just close your eyes and open the lotus and just touch the lotus and just chant the Devi's mantra and perceive. You will be able to feel as if you're touching her, because that is what the Shastras are telling, actually. Her body is just like a lotus, actually, So the softness of the lotus petals, actually. Nalini, Shubruhu. Her eyebrows are so nicely curved, actually. Subruhu. And how she is? She is, none of the foundations which you guys use will come to that level. That kind of a shine is there in her face, it seems, actually. That shine. And that is 24/7, actually. And therefore, with all these qualities, she's Suranaika. That's the reason devatas are like this in front of her. Otherwise, will they go like this in front of a lady? Do you think man will go like this in front of a lady? No, who will go? She has these qualities, She has proven herself with all these qualities. She is that complete power, that complete beauty, that complete essence of everything. Therefore, everybody standing like this in front of her, actually. Therefore, she is the leader of the devatas. And because being the leader of the devatas, being Kantimati, she is perceived, she is well understood by the devatas that she is Kalakanti. That she is united with Shiva, because the devatas also know all these truths that we have already studied now in the last 40 minutes. The devatas know these truths, that she is the Kantimati. Kantimati means the whom. She is the one who is with Shiva. She is the Shiva Tattva herself, the manifested idea of Shiva Tattva. Therefore, she is Kantimati, Kalakanti Kantimati. And because of being Kantimati, we have to be very, very careful to her, be careful towards her, because she is Kshobini. She can cause upheaval any moment she feels like. Kantimati, Kshobini, causing upheaval. Sukshma Rupini, because she is present in every subtle form. And she is, how she is present in the subtle form? Because she is the Vajreshwari. Being subtle, all the powers that is present in everything. I'm able to see through the glass because this glass has a power. Correct? This glass is an object, and this glass has an element of what is called as the power, actually. So this glass and that pop, I can't see the visibility of power, but this lens is what is the perceivable entity of that power. Therefore, This is the Sukshma Rupini, and the Vajreshwari Tattvam is the power that is emanating from the glass actually. That is the way she is present in every entity, both in the material and the non-material ideas actually. Vajreshwari, and again Vama Devi, Vama's Devi. Who is Vama? Shiva's Devi. Vayohasta Vivarjita. She is exempted from all these states of life, living, and beyond life and death concepts, because she is ultimately realized by the Siddhas. Therefore, she is worshipped by Siddhesh. Because she is Siddheshwari, she is worshipped by the Siddhas. Why? Because why she is Siddheshwari, students? Because she is having Siddha Vidya. How she is Siddha Vidya? The Panchadashi or the Navakshari, which is the Siddhi mantra, the 15-letter mantra or the 9-letter mantra, either of this mantra, either the Navakshari or the Panchadashi, specifically with the element of Panchadashi, if we have to talk about, that is the Siddha Vidya that is giving what is known as, because of this, she is becoming the Siddha Mata, the mother of all the Siddhas. Therefore, she is Yashaswini. She is Yashaswini. She is unparalleled to all the ideas that we actually spoke, though she is present in everything as Yashas, but she is also Vinitvam. She is beyond all these ideas. Therefore, she is Parabrahman. That's the reason she is Bindu. That though she is a form, there is a formless form present with this. And the theme, Bindu Tarpana Santhusta, if I have to sum up, it is the Shringara Tattvam. Please understand this. It is the Shringaram. That Shringharam is the essence of the Bindu. Shringhara Rasa Sampurna Jaya Jalan Tarastita. Find out which Namavali. I'm not saying the name. That Shringharam is the essence actually. And we as sadhakas have to perceive that Shringaram, bring that Shringaram in our lives, bring Shringaram in our upasana, bring Shringaram in our, in our day-to-day affairs, so that we will be able to see her in these aspects. So that what happens, the Bindu doesn't look like a distinctive element present somewhere else or far away place. The Bindu looks very much within us, because as Shringara as a Sampurna, she is present in each one of us, and she is very distinctively present in each elements. Therefore, everything is very, very different from us, seemingly different from us, but we will be able to realize, once we will perceive that Shringara Tattvam, that everything is one and the same. And with that Shringara Tattvam, we will be able to realize that I am also that Yantratmika Tattva. I am also that Sri Chakra Tattva. Everybody is that same Sri Chakra Tattva. There's a manifestation. This entire universe is a multitude of the Sri Chakra Tattva. And all the Sri Chakra Tattva is connecting to one single Bindu alone, which is Mahatripura Sundari herself. We are all none other than the Sri Chakras. In some or the other gates we are there, but we are the Sri Chakras. We have to build it in that way that we will reach that Bindu where Mahatripura Sundari is present. And the moment when we reach there and we perform the Tarpanam, Devi is Santushtini. She is becoming satisfied. And that is the moment where we are able to emerge into that Shringara Rasam with which she is in, and then it becomes Shiva Shaktiaika Rupini Lalitambika. Shiva Shaktiaika Rupini, she. And who is that Lalitambika? We are the one who is the Lalitambika. Namaskaram. With this, I will end my class. Om Sarva Mangala Manghalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trayambhake Gauri Narayani Namostute Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Kshamak Shiva Dhatri Swaha Swada Namostute Jaya Jaya Mahatripura Sundari Jaya Jaya Mahatripura Sundari जय जय महात्रिपुर सुंदरी सर्वं श्री चंडी महालक्ष्मी अर्पणमस्तु तथास्तु. Thank you so much. Namaskaram to everybody.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji. Namaste,
Thank you,
Guruji.
Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji.
Pranam Guruji.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Guruji. Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
Thank you so much.
Namaste, Guruji.
Thank you.
Namaste,
Guruji.
Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you so much, Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji.